Hi everyone, welcome back to another session of Bhagavad Gita. We will be doing today Bhagavad Gita chapter 2, text 19 and 20, which is on page 85 through 87 on the hardbound Bhagavad Gita as it is, if you are following along. We'll do a quick recap of our previous session. We saw chapter 2, text number 17. Krishna is speaking to Arjuna. Krishna is saying the soul is indestructible, explaining to Arjuna the real nature of the soul. And for our understanding and for Arjuna's understanding, Krishna is explaining that the soul is 1/10,000, the tip of the hair. So if we take the tip of the hair and divide it into 1,000 parts and take one of those parts and divide it further into 1,000 parts, that one part is the measurement of the soul. Then Krishna moves forward, text number 18. He's saying the soul is indestructible. Nobody can slay the soul, nor it can be withered by anything. Even if the body is gone, the soul is eternal. There is no end of the soul. He explains body perishes and body grows, but soul neither perishes nor grows. Soul is eternal. Krishna explains, saying, the body goes through 6 transformations. We come into being, we have a little boy or a girl body, we grow, we become adult, produce some byproducts, we have children, and we grow old and the body dwindles off. But the soul does not produce children. The soul does not have any byproducts. The soul is eternal and the body is not. And so Krishna is telling Arjuna, don't make that as a basis for not fighting, because Arjuna was saying, if I kill my grandfather, if I kill my teacher, I'm going to incur sin. And Krishna is telling, you will just be killing the body, the soul remains. We'll see further today that we cannot apply this theory and start killing people. So we'll see the basis for Krishna saying all this to Arjuna, but this is the recap from our previous session. The agenda for today is we will do chapter 2, text number 19. We'll see soul is never killed. Krishna is continuing to speak on the same topic of the soul, which is a very important topic. We'll see chapter 2, text number 20, and Krishna explains how the soul is steady. We'll start with prayers. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. I offer my respectful obeisances unto my spiritual master, who with the torchlight of knowledge has opened my eyes which were blinded by the darkness of ignorance. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. My dear Lord and the spiritual energy of the Lord, kindly engage me in your service. I am now embarrassed with this material service. Please engage me in your service. Chapter 2, text number 19, translation reads, neither he who thinks the living entity the slayer, nor he who thinks it slain is in knowledge. For the self slays not, nor is slain. So, Krishna is speaking to Arjuna, and Krishna is saying, somebody who thinks that the living entity, the slayer, nor he, so neither he who thinks the living entity the slayer, nor he who thinks it slain is in knowledge. So, for the self slays not, nor is slain. The soul cannot be destroyed. And if somebody is thinking that I can destroy the soul, then Krishna is saying that person is not acting in knowledge. Because before the soul entered this body, the soul existed. And after the soul leaves this body, the soul continues to exist. So, and the soul is the real self, body is just the covering. So Krishna is saying nobody can kill the soul. He's using the word self here, and he means soul. Continuing the same idea further, Prabhupada explaining the text number 19 in the purport, he's saying, when embodied living entity is hurt by fatal weapons, living entity within the body is not killed. It's like I'm living in the house and the house is being attacked. I am not being attacked. That's a mundane example for us to understand, but in reality, after my soul leaves this body, my soul goes takes another body. So even if somebody is hurting my body, the living entity that resides within the body is not hurt or killed. And like we saw, the spirit soul is 1/10,000th the tip of the hair. So spirit soul is too small to be killed by any weapon. And the important point Prabhupada's making is this, however, does not at all encourage killing of the body. One may say, okay, I can go start killing people because I'm not hurting the soul anyways, so I can go kill people. And Prabhupada's confirming that does not encourage killing of the bodies. Then what's the ground, what's the basis on which Krishna is encouraging Arjuna, telling this philosophy and saying, hey Arjuna, go ahead, kill? The key word is Krishna is the authority. Killing the body of anyone without authority is abominable and is punishable by the law of the state as well as law of the Lord. So, Krishna is the authority. A parallel to draw for us could be the judge in the high court is sitting on the seat of the law, and the judge makes and passes an order saying this person be hanged. And because the judge passes the order, the executor of the order goes ahead and executes the order and kills the person. and the executor of the order is not punished. He did the right thing, he did what is his duty, so he's not punished. The same executor walking on the street goes and kills a person. He is punishable by law. He did the same act of killing on the road, he's punishable. He did the same act of killing under the order of the judge, he's not punishable. Why? Because in one case he's following authority, in the other case he's doing things whimsically. In Arjuna's case, Krishna is the authority. He is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and Krishna is asking him to fight. And so, Arjuna being instructed by the authority is like he is executing the order of the law. And so, Arjuna will not be punished. Similar example can be given of a person fighting in the war. When the person is fighting in the war from the side of the state, he goes and kills number of people in the war, and the state awards him a medal. The same person comes to his home, takes out his gun and shoots his neighbor. He is punishable. The state will not give him a medal. So when I am executing, doing something under the instruction and order of an authority, then I'm not punishable. And that is the point Krishna is trying to explain here. Moving on, chapter 2, text number 20, translation reads, "For the soul there is neither birth nor death at any time. He has not come into being, does not come into being, and will not come into being. He is unborn, eternal, ever existing, and primeval. He is not slain when the body is slain." Looks little high funda. Let's read again. Says, "For the soul there is neither birth nor death." We saw this in the previous thing also. My soul resides within this body. When this body perishes, the soul leaves this body and goes into another body. So the soul is for the soul there is neither birth nor death at any time. Then he has not come into being, does not come into being, and will not come into being. He here is the soul. Meaning, I can say that for the body comes into being and the body perishes and we say he died. The soul does not come into being. How? Because the soul is eternal. Like Krishna is eternal. There is no beginning and there is no end for the soul. Thus, the soul is unborn, he is eternal, he is everlasting and ever existing and primeval. He is not slain when the body is slain. So when the body perishes and we say the person died, the soul doesn't die. I was hearing one of Prabhupada's lecture and Prabhupada was saying on the same point, he says, there is a mother and the son. Say the son died and the mother is saying, "Oh, my son died, oh, my son died." And Prabhupada saying, He's right there, right in front of you. Why are you saying he died? You can see him. So what is death? He was explaining, he said, the body whom you considered your son is lying right there, and you say, oh, he's dead, which means the body was not your son. The soul residing within the body was actually your son. And the soul who was your son, you have never even seen him, because that is the part, that is the soul that has left the body, and you are saying, my son died, my son left. The body is still there. The son who you are saying is left is the soul which you have never even seen. So all your life you considered the body as your son. In actuality, the soul was your son, and you never even got an opportunity to see or meet the soul, because you always considered the body to be your son. And the way he explained was amazing. I was like, wow. Moving further, soul is steady. So continuing the same idea of text number 20, Prabhupada's explaining in the purport, he's saying, the body is subject to 6 kinds of transformations. We can see here in the picture on the right as well. The 6 transformations are: we take birth, we remain for some time, we grow, we produce some byproducts, and then the body dwindles and vanishes. This is the life cycle for everything in this material world, starting from our body to, you can consider a building. A builder builds a building. The building is there for some time. Of course, it doesn't produce byproducts, but it grows old and it vanishes. Somebody comes, demolishes the building, and then makes a new building. Or you could apply the same to a clock, meaning we make it, and then at one point in time it vanishes. So it has a beginning and it has a end. The soul, however, does not go through such changes. Why? Because the soul is eternal. There is no beginning and there is no end to the soul. And as the body is changing, there is no effect on the soul, which is pretty amazing. And that is the reason we remember everything from our childhood to birth, childhood to until the point we leave this body. We remember things because the soul is the same, just that the body is undergoing transformations. Okay, we are done. Summary for today. What we saw today is chapter 2, text number 19. Krishna is saying the soul is indestructible. He says the person is who considers the soul to be slain or to be slayed is not the one in knowledge. And we saw soul is never killed, because the soul is so tiny, there is no possibility to cut the soul by any weapon. The soul is 1/10,000th the tip of the hair, and it's just not possible to kill the soul. That doesn't give us an authority to kill everybody. The only reason Krishna is asking Arjuna to kill is Arjuna is a Kshatriya, he's a policeman, and there is injustice happening, and Krishna is giving instruction, order to Arjuna to get things right. Like a policeman, when there is injustice happening, the policeman is supposed to go and get things in proper order. That's what is Krishna's instruction to Arjuna, and Krishna is saying to Arjuna, fight. Do not worry, because you're not killing the soul anyway. You're just killing the body. The soul is unharmed. Text number 20, he continues the same idea further and says the soul is not slayed, and so Arjuna fight. He explains the soul is steady, giving the example of the body. The body undergoes transformations, but the soul does not undergo any transformation. The body has a beginning, the body has an end, and the soul is eternal. A message for us, or some one application point for us, is the body comes into being and the body goes out of being. So I am this spirit soul, and I am actually not this body. And then going the next step and thinking, okay, what is my duty as a spirit soul? When I'm not this body, I'm a spirit soul. What is my duty as a spirit soul? And then focusing on execution of that duty is going to be beneficial to us. We can live our life as soul and not as the body. Thank you all for watching. If you have any questions, you can send across and I will try to answer them as soon as possible. Thank you so much for watching. Hare Krishna.